am Arlynn, actually Mimsic now, and no, my presentation is not loading or buffering or broken. I'm here to actually talk to you about this buffer wheel and how this buffer wheel blew my mind. Every day you are bought and sold. Your precious time wasted by irrelevant advertisements, big brands spending seconds, minutes, even hours of your time giving you messages that you don't care about. But I actually don't hate advertising. I work in advertising. Hello. Yes, I am those people. But I'm here to tell you that it's actually getting better. As annoyed as you might be, advertising is on its way to be better. But let's go back to the beginning. Back in the day, to place an ad, it was not that complicated. Old white man A had a great ad for the ideal gift. So he called up old white man B, who ran a magazine for domestic women. And they worked out a deal on the phone, and boom, ads were placed. But then the internet showed up, and computers, and digital ads. In the beginning, it actually wasn't that complicated, because there was pretty much only 4 places you might want to place your ad. So they could still work all these deals out through the phone. But let's fast forward 20 years, because the world we live in is very different. On average right now, an American teenager spends 9 hours a day on digital media. We, as a collective, check our phones 8 billion times a day, and yes, I see you. So in this world now, where we spend more time on digital and online than any other type of media combined, advertising obviously has had to change. And yes, it's changed in bad ways, but it will change for the better. First, with 1 billion websites and 3.5 billion internet users, phone calls probably aren't going to cut it anymore. So they developed a new system. This new system was run by the same magic that I assume runs my cell phone. But it turns out it's not magic. It's not magical creatures. It is actually a brilliant new way of using technology, I know you assumed this, to find the right people. This system is called programmatic advertising. Programmatic is just a fancy word for automated. Automated is just a fancy word for run by computers. And it's actually not as simple as one might hope. Turns out computers make it more complicated than ever. We went from a clusterfuck to a clown circus, but we're gonna get better, I promise. Still frustrating, but what's great is that the basic theory isn't so bad. The basic theory everyone can understand, and I am always the person to raise my hand, I am not a developer, but you can understand the basic theory and more relevant advertisements will come of it. First, know that the internet knows things about you. If you don't know this, smile and nod right now. Go Google it later, and know that the internet will know that you did that. Second, know that this buffer wheel is actually a sham. This is what blew my mind. So every time your website is loading, your video is loading, something like that, it's actually not just your content loading. It's actually a live bidding war done by automated computers behind the scenes for your eyeballs in that one instance. It's more like the stock exchange. And in fact, there's more programmatic ad trade deals done in one day than in the entire year on the New York Stock Exchange. In the beginning, only really big brands could afford to use programmatic, because as we remember, those slides or those charts were very confusing. But the thing is they didn't really care who they were targeting. They just used spray and pray advertising. They just needed you to meet 3 key criteria. And if you met those 3 key criteria, they were going to show you that Chevy truck ad over and over and over and over and over again. But what's cool and or very, very creepy is that the internet knows more about Andrew than just those 3 things. So if you want to find information about Andrew and you want to actually talk to Andrew about things he cares about, the programmatic advertising can help you do this. And even better, these really, really deep-pocketed brands paid for this system to be built for us. So the brands like Chevy and McDonald's and Allstate built this system, but it's actually coming to a point now where small businesses, local businesses can jump on. So these type of brands can talk to Andrew about Burning Man because they can talk to things about the things that he cares about. And if you care about it, it's not irrelevant. And if you care about it, it's not wasting your time.